a gunman who went into a church of children taking mass this morning. Oh, the stream just ended. Okay. So this morning, we don't have much to say, but I will say a little bit. First of all, this is just a horrific situation. Minneapolis Police Department say the Annunciation Catholic school shooter was contained and is no longer an active threat to the community. The FBI is also on the scene. Witnesses heard a tremendous amount of gunfire. The school includes children to 8th grade and mass held every Wednesday morning. This is the first week of school. Pray for all those involved. There's a lot that we need to learn about this. This is demonic. There is no other word for it. And to target a church, to target mass, and to go kill children, I mean, that is as dark and as evil and as satanic as you could possibly capture and imagine. And that is nihilism in its purest form. Children were praying and taking mass, and this guy goes and just starts randomly shooting at them. I will say, from my theological view, we know where he is, and he is in the place that he belongs. From outside the building, he just sprayed through the windows, and he obviously ended up killing himself. A couple kids have died, and probably, we do not know the tally as it's coming through. 2 kids are still in critical condition, and he took his own life. No, it's a terrible situation. I wish I had more commentary to say here. And 5 are still in the hospital right now. And so those are the ones that you should be praying for. So a bunch of 8, 9, and 10-year-olds go to mass, and they are greeted with gunfire and a beyond sick and disturbed individual that tried to kill them all, and then ended up taking his own life at Annunciation Catholic in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. Look, there's plenty of time to talk about what we need to do, such as hardening our schools and our churches and having armed guards. All that, we have plenty of time to discuss that. The more important kind of component of this is just staying in prayer and monitoring and watching the situation as it develops. The police chief gave an update. The parents are scattering and finally have been able to get their children. No, and as a parent, this is just obviously everyone's worst nightmare imaginable. And 2 dead, Fox saying, and 2 in critical condition. We'll have more updates as time progresses. Okay, everybody, email us freedom@charliekirk.com, and we are here at the bitcoin.com studio. I want to make sure that we did that and that we keep our eyes closely on that as that story, a terrible, horrific story, develops. That madman could have killed 20 or 30 kids. It's terrible he killed 3. He started shooting from outside the building, and whoever that is, he is getting his punishment. And I got to be honest that if you're an atheist and you don't believe in the afterlife and you don't believe in eternal punishment, I can see why that would be unsettling. It's still obviously incredibly unsettling for us. But there is something to say that he is getting his eternal punishment, that he more than deserves. He is suffering right now, as he should. Play cut 383, please.
The question was, what can be said about the shooter? We believe it is one suspect, a sole shooter. We believe he is deceased. He is in his early 20s, does not have an extensive known criminal history, and we are looking through information left behind to try and determine some type of motive.
Was the shooter a student, former student? Was he a former employee? Do we know that?
The question was, do we know if the shooter was a former school employee or a former student? We don't have that information.
We don't have a lot of information. We're going to cover it throughout the hour as things develop. There is one thing, though, that before the whole push for gun control, which obviously is going to start, we don't even want to, it's just like it's too soon to get into that. We would have a lot less gun crime with universal stop and frisk and mandatory 25-year prison sentences for any felon caught possessing an illegal gun. The Democrats are now going to roll out their usual talking points. We're going to have to respond. And it's too bad, but because of the sickness and the demonic nature that has infected our nation, churches, synagogues, and schools all need armed guards. That's the country we're living in, is that churches, synagogues, and schools, anywhere there's places of value, you need armed guards. I know that some people don't like that. They say, I don't know. I say, you got to protect what you love. I mean, we have armed guards at sporting events. I just went to the Arizona Diamondbacks game and the Chicago Cubs game. There were armed guards everywhere. And in some ways, it's a tough kind of pill to stomach. It's a tough truth to have to endure, because not everyone wants to live in that kind of a country where you have to have it. But we have them at airports. We have them at banks. We have them at train stations. We have them at bus stations. And look, we're still going to learn whether anyone has said whether or not the people on site were armed. He took his own life. Again, we're all just speculating at this point, but I just want to repeat something that we all know. At its core, we are in the middle of a spiritual battle in this country. This is a spiritual sickness. By the way, kids are infinitely more valuable than money in a bank, but we protect money in a bank way higher threshold than kids in a school. Play cut 386.
The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals.
And look, the direction we're going is that America is going to be turned into basically a South African compound. That's the direction we're going, is that you should not leave the house without a firearm or at least an armed guard around. That is the direction that we are going. Play cut 387.
2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
7 were brought in as critical condition, 4 required operating room, no fatalities. 9 out of the 11 patients were kids between 6 and 14 years old. This is a demonic, satanic energy and spirit, everybody. To go straight into a church and try to kill kids that were worshiping Jesus Christ, our Lord. It's as dark as it gets. What do we have, guys? Terrible. Email us, as always, freedom@charliekirk.com. We are going to get to other news stories here. And a couple kids have died, and the hospital is currently treating 9 pediatric patients.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.